Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, missioners? All right, so we're gonna talk about Scorpio North Node, fourth house. So now this is, I've done some videos on this, but this is my North Node, so that's why I talk about it a lot. So one of the things I come to the realization of, especially with this North Node, you really got to psychologically upgrade. And here's what I've learned about what T.D. Jakes said, a Gemini, said some time ago that I really resonate with. He said, it's not about what you leave with your children, it's what you leave in your children. And the reason why that's super duper duper important, because as I grow through my challenges in life, and it's not as hard as my mental is making it seem, because I've been through worse, as I feel this breeze outside. And I guess I'm being emotional about, like, let's say I want to get some candy right now, and I'm being emotional, and I'm like, yo, I don't know, I want to do this, I don't know, all that stuff. And I'm really sitting with myself, and I think I have to find a better way to emotionally regulate. I really got to do that. I really got to do better with that. But that's also part of Scorpio North Node being an emotional regulator. And what I come to the realization of, for real, that, life is 80% psych. It is what Tony Robbins said about life, what he said, or business. It's 80% psychology, 20% technical. And I would say, when I say technical, when he says technical, what it really means is physical stuff. If the battle is not won in your mind, you almost lose every battle. You almost lose every challenge, every war, every client that I ever met, they lose the battle. Oh shit! Every client that I know is struggling with analysis paralysis, what's happening is that it's not that they don't have the tools. Sometimes that is the case, but a lot of the times they lose the battle in their own mind. So because they lose the battle in their own mind, sometimes it doesn't matter how much stuff I give them. And this is what I learned too. Like, one of the reasons why personal development is super duper important, because it teaches you to win the battle in your mind. So what that means is, you can have, and I've been here and I've done this. You can have all the stuff and the resources in the world, but if the battle in your mind is constantly lost, you don't win. You don't go nowhere. You don't progress. As I reflect on getting out of homelessness in 27 days, and paying my rent for about I'm gonna say September, October, about 2 months now, right? I realized it's because the battle in my mind was won. It wasn't necessarily because I have more resources. It's because the battle in my mind is won. So when it comes to paying this rent, I'm not losing the battle of saying, oh, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to pay this rent. I've come to the decision, which means to cut off, that it's going to be paid no matter what. So one of the things that I had to realize, was the battle must be really won in your own mind. And let me give you an example. I really got to get seriously uncomfortable in the next 15 days. for me to, like, let's say even say get my glasses, which cost $600, which is my rent. To make my rent and pay my glasses, I have to get really uncomfortable, right? And what I mean by get really uncomfortable is I have to really have systems in place. I have to really have things in place that put me in position to win. And what I'm realizing is it's a psychological battle. And because it's a psychological battle, if I tell myself in my mind, oh, I can't do this, 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 I feed the reality that it don't exist. So I realized for me how my parents failed me, and I guess I picked that on purpose so I can grow in myself, because they taught me all the physical stuff. And, well, not all, I'm not lying them on that. They taught me the physical stuff, but they're Tauruses. They taught me that the physical stuff matters. And I realized, like, as I grow as a young adult, when you realize how simple you could survive on shit, meaning like you could survive on bread, like I do, bread, tuna, beans, and peanut butter and jelly, eggs. My diet is super simple, but horrible. But it's simple, and what the fuck is this shit called? And a few pieces of clothes. And because my life is super simple and like not a huge lot of everything, I realize that I gotta really buckle down and upgrade psychologically, because I made an internal shift and my world followed me, right? So as I go get some candy, I guess to reward myself to some extent, but I gotta do it better with this emotional handling. I gotta learn to take a walk or do some breathing or do some meditation or do some grounding into some respect, so I can channel my energy and keep forward, especially with like me not wanting to keep my semen on a higher level, because my semen retention is pretty high, but I want it to go higher by keeping it all the way. I want to go all the way when it comes to my semen retention, meaning no porn and no sex, and that's a very hard task, because not only do I not, it's not that I don't have access. It's just I don't go out to have access to women in a sexual way, even though I can have it if I really want to. I just realized that I'm on a mission, so that's why I can't abort mission, because I want some sex. And I guess it's also part of the understanding that I'm not gonna be here forever. So this is my last time on this planet. So because this is my last time on this planet, I've abandoned this idea that I need to have sex and I need to do that with everybody, because I've already realized a lot of people are not even really worth my time for real. But that's no here nor there. I've come to the realization that a lot of it is psychological. And for a person like me, if I master my psychology, I'd be a hell of a force, because I'd be so tunnel vision that nothing else matters, because I already have that mentality already, more than most young people. So I actually have to go all the way. And this is what I'm learning psychologically. I have to go all the way in mastering my psychology, because if I don't go all the way, it's not going to be, I won't say it's not going to be worth it. I'm going to take a longer time than necessary. And I think, I think it's time for me personally, psychologically, to stop dragging out my success. And to get really obsessed with not success, but a becoming of a certain person. A becoming of a certain person, because it's not just about materialistic success for me, but really becoming somebody worth a fucking damn. And that's how I guess gray is becoming one of my favorite colors. It is the color of my moon sign, which is getting Capricorn. So I gotta start wearing like gray hoodies and how's this called? Maybe support like Loaded Lux on some gray hoodie shit. You heard? So I like this gray on me. It really fits my outside of the black because of my North Node. But I've come to the realization, even with that being said, like different colors do evoke certain different emotions. Because I'm usually wearing black, so it makes me more mellow. And I mean kind of like sometimes melancholy. So, and I may wear certain shirts when I wanna do certain things and affect certain things, etc., etc. But what I've learned, for real, like if your parents and your environment is not helping you grow psychologically, they will really fail you for real. Because if you think this life is more physical, if you think this life is more physical than it is psychological, you got it fucked up for real. This life is way more psychological than it is physical. I'll tell you that right now. This life is way more. It's almost, I would say, 80 to 85% psychological, and it is what I think Woodrow, one of our ancestors, I forgot what he said. Forgot his name, but he said something so deep that is really true. If you can control a man's mind, you do not have to worry about his actions. And when it comes to certain actions, if he has no way, he will find a way. He will create a back door to find a way. I don't remember what his name is, but that is extremely true for good and bad purposes. In a good way, if you program your mind to pay rent, for instance, that I gotta pay every week, you will find a way. And if there is no way, you will make a way. So, and if, and I actually gotta be tunnel vision about my programming, and I gotta be like, in other words, in the words of Neville Goddard, I gotta become more tunnel vision about my mental programming, and that's why I really love Neville Goddard, because he uses the term mental diet, and that's seriously important in my life because I don't really have nobody. And one of the things, in a deep regard, and one of the things that, what the fuck is this shit called? One of the things I love about one of my mentors from afar, or one of my coaches from afar, David Imiante, one of the things I loved, maybe it's because he ain't showed on camera, but whatever. One of the things I love about him, if you listen to his audios, one of the things that he really, really talks about is his mental conditioning is so thick, it almost makes him unbreakable. And does that mean he's not human and he doesn't have emotions and feelings because he's a Cancer? He has a lot of those things. But the reason why his environment does not rule him and he rules his environment, he claims dominion because his mental programming, and this, I gotta get on this, his mental programming is so thick. Like, in other words, he'll listen to let's say, The Magic of Believing for 6 months straight. He'll listen to The Strangest Secrets for 6 months straight, and it conditions your brain. And that means that he could probably be listening to that for 3-4 hours a day on repeat. So when that's in your mental conditioning, it is extremely difficult to fail, because you're programming your subconscious for 3-4 hours a day. And I gotta start doing that with Stream Brazil, where I'm programming my mind with Stream Brazil for 3-4 hours a day, because I need my mental programming, not just with words, but or find a few audios I can listen to, like The Science of Getting Rich, over and over, like at least every day. I have to start listening to The Science of Getting Rich every single day, because from start to finish, because and will myself to listen to it every single day, because it's about mental conditioning. You need to have a mental diet, per se, that's going to, like I was telling my new client today, or one of the people that I guess I'm partnering with. She said, I told her today that wealth is not created, it's transferred. So all I'm doing is taking the ideas that you have at your job, and I'm transferring it over to your entrepreneurship, because you're not really creating something else. You're just transferring the energy from what you had before, and you're doing it for yourself. So when you're transferring ideas, habits, behaviors, all you're doing is transferring thought, transferring behaviors, transferring feelings, and studying something and putting it in another direction. Now, is it going to be hard in the beginning? Yes, and I would say even it's supposed to be, because if it's not hard in the beginning, that means there's no real transference. And here's why I say that: because you will lift no weight to a longer distance. So what that means is, when you're transferring an item, ooh, that's so deep. When you're transferring an item, you're traveling. So when transference takes travel. So because transference, wealth is transferred, not created. Because transference takes traveling, you have to realize that you have to carry weight. Just like a train track, just like food. The food that I'm about to go get, that somebody drove across a truck to get here to Food Mart, right? And you have to transfer that food over, and that weight has to be carried over. You feel what I'm saying? So when that weight is carried over, I wonder if they have gloves, like real gloves. They don't got no real gloves. They got long gloves. I mean, that's okay, but they don't got real gloves. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not real gloves for real. That's not gonna say myself, but you know, I just had to accept, like, transference takes discipline, transference takes hurt, transference takes pain, because as a human being, yeah, this is the only glove they probably got. Those are the only gloves. I believe so. Those are the only gloves you got, right? Those are the only gloves you have, right? That's it, right? Yeah, I probably have to get it from the dollar store, Family Dollar, some shit. Or probably from Walmart. But, you know, like I said, wealth is transferred, man. Wealth is really transferred. And you really have to make a difference in your own life, in your own mind. I'm telling you, the battle, man, once you win the battle in your mind, like, I've had to accept it in my life. Once you win the battle in your mind, everything is pretty much a cakewalk. And you know why people envy you? And I'll leave you with this. You know why people envy you? Because they haven't won the battle in their own mind. That's the only reason why people envy you. People don't envy you because you're better than them. They envy you because you won the battle that they did not. That they're constantly losing at.
The barcode. Hey, the barcode. That's it.
Yeah.
Apple Pay.